All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are tackling a huge one, an idea so powerful it might just completely change how you look at the world. We're talking about the Black Swan, from the mind of the one and only Nassim Nicholas Taleb.
So let me ask you a question to get us started. What could World War I and the internet possibly have in common? I mean, think about it. One is this massive, world-shattering conflict, and the other is a technology that basically rewired our entire planet. What's the link? The answer is, well, it's pretty simple when you think about it. No one saw them coming. Not a single expert, not any government, nobody. And this is Taleb's whole point. Our world is shaped not by what we expect, but by these huge, out-of-the-blue surprises. And these world-changing surprises, well, Taleb has a name for them. He calls them Black Swans. So let's dig in and figure out what exactly a Black Swan is. Okay, so a Black Swan event has three key ingredients. First, it's a total rarity, an outlier, way beyond what anyone expects. Second, it has a massive, extreme impact. Think about the 2008 financial crisis. But here's the kicker, the third part, which is so important. It's only after it's over that we all look back and say, oh, of course. We cook up these neat explanations that make it seem like it was predictable all along. And look, Taleb isn't talking about small stuff here. He's saying these events, they're not just part of our history. They pretty much are our history. They explain almost everything that matters, which, leads to a pretty big question. If they're so important, why are we so incredibly blind to them? To get why we're so blind, Taleb splits the world into two different realms, each with its own rulebook. He calls them Mediocristan and extremistan. So, you've got Mediocristan. Think of this as the land of the predictable, the ordinary. It's governed by physical limits. Things like human height live here. And then there's extremistan. This is the wild, unpredictable world of ideas, of wealth, of information. It's a place where one single event, one single person can completely dominate and change the whole game. Let's make this a little more real with some examples. In Mediocristan, you've got stuff like body weight or your annual dental bill. These things have natural limits. But in extremistan, you've got things like wealth or book sales. Think about it. Someone like J.K. Rowling can sell more books than pretty much all other authors put together. That's extremistan. And that right there is the key difference. In Mediocristan, if you grab 1,000 people and add the heaviest person on Earth, the average weight barely budges. But in extremistan, if you add the wealthiest person to that group, they could easily account for 99% of the total wealth. The average becomes totally useless. And here's our big mistake. We keep trying to apply the nice, safe, boring rules of Mediocristan to the crazy, unpredictable world of extremistan. To really hammer home just how badly we get this wrong, Taleb tells this fantastic and kind of dark story, the parable of the turkey. So I want you to imagine something. Imagine you're a turkey, and every single day this nice human shows up, gives you food, makes sure you're comfortable. Life is good, right? Day after day, for 1,000 days straight, this happens. You're basically a little scientist collecting data. And every single data point confirms your hypothesis. Humans are my friends. Your confidence just soars. Every day you feel safer and more secure than the last. You've got 1,000 days of proof. So, what happens on day 1,001? Based on all that rock-solid evidence, what's your prediction? Thanksgiving. That's what happens. The ultimate black swan for that turkey. It's a total catastrophe that was nowhere in its data. In a single instant, 1,000 days of evidence become completely and, well, fatally worthless. And this is the whole point. The turkey's mistake is our mistake. We look at the past, and we just naively draw a straight line into the future. We see things being calm and stable for a long time, and we think, great, this is safe. When actually, that stability might just be hiding a massive shock that's building up just out of sight. So what's the intellectual tool that keeps making us act like that turkey? Well, Taleb points to one specific culprit, something he calls the great intellectual fraud. And the villain in this story? It's the bell curve. Yep, that same Gaussian distribution you probably learned about in school. That nice, neat little hump that shows how everything supposedly clusters around the average. So, why does he call it a fraud? Because the bell curve is a perfect map for Mediocristan. It works great for things like human height, But when you try to apply it to the wild world of extremistan, to things like market crashes or wars, it's not just wrong, it's dangerously wrong. It actively hides the risk of huge outliers. It basically tells us everything is fine, right up until the moment it isn't.
Okay, so if we can't predict these massive events, and the main tool we use for risk is broken, what the heck are we supposed to do? This brings us to the final part, how to face the unpredictable.
Rule number 1, and this is the big one, so listen up. Stop trying to predict black swans. Just stop. You can't do it. It's a waste of time. The very definition of a black swan is that it's unpredictable. So trying to predict the unpredictable is, well, a fool's game.
So instead of prediction, we focus on preparation. And for this, Taleb offers a really elegant solution he calls the barbell strategy. The idea is super simple. You avoid the risky, muddled middle and put your energy into the two extremes. Here's how it looks in the real world, say with investing. You'd put most of your money, maybe 90%, into something incredibly safe, like cash or government bonds. That protects you from a catastrophic negative black swan. Then you take the other 10% and you put it into super speculative, high-risk bets, things like venture capital or startups. See what this does? Your losses are capped at that 10%, but your potential gain, it's unlimited. You're set up to catch a positive black swan.
And this isn't just about money. You can apply this barbell idea to your whole life. How? By maximizing your exposure to good luck, to serendipity. Go to that party, move to a bustling city, talk to strangers, tinker on a side project. You're basically collecting what Taleb calls free lottery tickets. You have no idea which one might pay off, but you're giving yourself the chance. Because let's be honest, almost no major discovery in history ever came from a neat, top-down plan.
So, let's leave you with this question. Knowing that you can't predict the future, what's one small, speculative bet you can make today? One tiny thing with very little downside. Maybe it's starting that conversation, taking that online course, or working on that weird idea. What's one little bet you can make that has a massive, unlimited potential upside? What's your positive black swan lottery ticket